Hey, let's
What's up?
go.
How's it going, Vikings fans? Welcome into another Wednesday Skol Experience with GG Sports Podcast and Minnesota Sports Talk. Gentlemen, how is it going this evening?
I'm ready to experience the Skol.
Experience the Skol every day. That's the life we live. My worthless opinion. What's going on, man? Skol, brother. Bob Swede, Skol Zone, Skol, everybody. Of course, I don't actually. So, of course, we're running a Justin Jefferson rookie card. Hashtags go in the comments. I'm waiting for some to come in the mail actually, so I don't have any in hand. But hashtag Skol in the comments for a Justin Jefferson rookie card. Like the video and subscribe to the channels if you haven't already. Everything's in the description. So, what do you think, guys? Any initial news you want to discuss prior to going into any of our slideshows we got ready?
Well, we can talk about the overall disrespect
Let's
that
start
we're
with
getting.
that.
The overall fucking purple hate, the just disrespect. I mean, Packers still getting love. Lions are the new shiny toy. And I mean, Vegas odds apparently have us tied with the Bears as the worst team in the division as far as odds to win the Super Bowl or something like that. So yeah,
I understand the Lions are like kind of like the media darlings right now, but holy, like they are getting way too much love right now. Like they're
gonna break their hearts. The Lions, they're
really
just
are
setting up for a massive heartbreak, dude.
Honestly, yeah. Like they're getting all this, like, oh, they're gonna win the division. They're the third best team in the NFC. Like you look at them, like fine, like they ended last year. They ended last year well, right? But they lost. You know, I mean, I know Jameson Williams didn't do a ton last year, except for his one catch for a touchdown against the Vikings. We'll forget about that. But he's out.
Yeah.
So they have Monroe St. Brown, like Marvin Jones. Okay, fine. Was it Pete? Petra? What's the tight end from Iowa they just drafted?
I can't remember his name either.
Then,
he has potential to be pretty good,
right? But then they have, then of course they have Jahmyr Gibbs as well as David Montgomery. But like, I don't know. And defensively, they still have pieces, but they missed a shot to add a difference maker in Jalen Carter to that defense.
Laporta,
that's his name.
Yeah,
it's like they breed tight ends in Iowa.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy they do, but we got the best one ever.
But either way, it's just, I don't know, it's ridiculous. And as you guys know, I like the Lions. I think they're a good football team. I think
they are your 1B.
Yeah, they are
franchise. Your 1B franchise.
Even though it's in our division,
there is no 1B franchise. Let's be honest. But yeah, like I don't know, man. I think they're a good team. I think they're an exciting team.
Yeah.
But also, but I don't like what I want to see, and I know Micro Mike has a better feel on the Lions fans than we do.
I was just thinking of him.
But I don't know. Part of me just I don't 100% buy Dan Campbell right now or yet. Like I know what type of coach he is. I know he's just like I
like him as a head coach,
risk it for the biscuit, or no risk it, no biscuit type guy. But we haven't seen him when like that game against the Packers. If that game is on the line, does he do that hook and ladder play? Like the Lions fans will tell you yes, but I just don't know if he will actually do something like that.
The red zone hook and ladder.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
He's one of those coaches. He's one of those coaches that likes to, be like outlandish. But when you're a team like the Lions and you're kind of not really, let's be honest, you're not playing for much often, you can do that. But in a situation where if that's a win and in game, does he do that or does he take a safer route? I don't know.
Yeah, does he do the fake punt against us like on fourth and whatever? Yeah. It was like fourth
and maybe he does and maybe it works out. But I need that's the thing with a lot of this. Like you need to see it happen before you can be like if they come out and do everything the national media thinks they're going to do, then we'll talk about it. Then I'll be like, okay, they're 100% right. The Lions are that team. Like, okay, cool. But
like they had to have a lot of things go wrong to go 1-7, and then a lot of things right to have a winning record, which was crazy.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Liked and subbed. I'm just here to hear Vikings talk. Let's go, Skol Zone. Let's go. Make sure to sub to both of our channels. They're in the description. Minnesota Sports Talk and GG Sports Podcast. Appreciate you being here. You guys still watch main media? Screw that. I might get my sports talk from you,
like
Vikings
Twitter,
guys.
Twitter stuff.
Yeah, media. Dude, last year, we were predicted probably 8 wins last year. Get 13-4. in my opinion,
I think we were 8.5. And I think we're 8.5 again.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Like, what do we have to do? We have to get 13 wins, and then actually, I get it. Like, maybe we weren't a 13-win team for sure with all those close wins, but in my opinion, we're a better team going into next season. So I don't get how you're just like, all right, let's bring them back down to 8 wins, 8, 9
it's
wins.
like, you know what? Yeah, they won 13 games. They just made their offense even better. TJ Hawkinson will have a full season. Addison is supposed to be a plug and play number 2. Oh, and biggest addition is, Mike is Flores. And let's give him 8 wins this year. Yeah. I mean, are you serious? That's ridiculous.
I know Greg offense will be good, but we really did not do much defensively. Getting new coach not going to make much of a difference. It has, but if there's one thing you can do with the defense, I think hiring a different coach could make a huge difference. I'm not talking like going to top 5, top 10 defense.
Even Phil Mackey and Justin Day got us winning 10 games or 11.
Well, look at the team in general, and look at the team from the switch to Mike Zimmer and to Kevin O'Connell. You bring back the same team, pretty much. Few different pieces here and there. What did that do? Brings us from a middling 8-win team to 13 wins. Losing a lot of one-score games with Zimmer in 2021, winning those one-score games in 2022. I think a coach makes a bigger difference than some people think. Then again, I'm just a young Vikings fan who's hopeful, and I haven't completely lost it yet. So,
yeah, you haven't been scorned nearly as much yet.
Right. No. Exactly.
Yeah. No, the media is BS. They're always honest, but
what is it with it? It's like, they talk about East Coast bias and shit like this, but Detroit.
Yeah. It's just Detroit's they're the Cinderella story. They're going to be like that team that's never made playoffs in however many years. What is it? Not in my lifetime, 91 or something like that, or 94. I don't know.
They won a few years ago. I want to say like 9 years ago. I think it was when I first moved to Florida again.
They made it to playoffs that season?
They beat us twice. I think they made the playoffs.
I don't think they've
maybe
made
not.
The playoffs.
Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it was a tough year. I know they had a winning record.
I think that they made what year was that? 2010. I remember they played the Saints in the first. No, 2013.
Oh, they did. So maybe it was once they made playoffs.
I want to say I moved here in 2014, and I was at Universal Studios, and I was listening to us lose to them for the second time.
Because I know they made the playoffs one year with Stafford and Kelvin Johnson. They played the Saints and they lost.
That was their last playoff win was in 1991.
Oh, yeah. Playoff win, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. So their last playoff win was in 1991. So I don't know. There's just like a big story around.
It was 2016. They made the wild card. 2014. They made the wild card.
Yeah, but like part of me, like
staying in 3-4 will be our demise. Said it before. Our personal is more of a 4-3. It'll be interesting because other than Danielle Hunter, I don't think any of our players is just outright 4-3. In my opinion,
have 3 freaking. How many? 1, 2, 3.
What's going on,
4,
Sarah?
5, 6, 7 playoff wins.
But like honestly, like as we talked about like the Lions media darlings, Jamie, you said, what do we have to do? Like we had 13 wins. What do we like? Kirk Cousins is almost the perfect quarterback for the Vikings for the reason of like the Vikings are that team just like Kirk, where it's like, as Dave always talks about moving the goalpost, but it's like people on the edge of their seats, like, nah, they ain't gonna do it. Then they do something. It's like, nah, they can't do it twice in a row. Then they'll do it twice in a row. They can't do it 3 times in a row. And then they won't. And then as soon as they don't, everyone's like, see, I told you. I told you they fail eventually.
Says, I feel good about being quoted, Casey. 1 win in the Super Bowl era, the Lions. 1 win in the Super Bowl era in the playoffs.
Okay. In the playoffs, yeah.
1 win.
So they want it. They want them to win the division. With the Packers coming down, like, what are you going to do? You're not going to be like, oh, Vikings are going to run the division now. No, you're going to try to bring the Lions up to be like, nope, they're going to be that team. They can't let us have it. So we're just going to have to go and take it. That's just what's going to happen. Have to happen. It's all good. What's going on, Dan? Welcome in, sir. We're giving away a Justin Jefferson rookie card like we do on every show. Hashtag Skol in the comments for a chance to win that at the end of the show. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, all that good stuff. A lot of you guys know this, and I already expect the likes on these videos. But
this is honestly the first year in a long time where I felt like we are the favorite. Like we are legitimately should be like the top favorite.
Yeah,
but we're not.
And the Lions of all teams. And
I mean, there's
put us down with the Bears. The Bears had a pretty good offseason. I'll give that to them. But you're talking about the team that had the worst record in football. You think
and they give us 13 wins the same odds as them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's just disrespectful. I mean, they're gonna learn.
And what's up with the Justin Fields hype? I don't get that.
Casey really doesn't. I get it. There's no question about it. He's like an amazing running quarterback. He showed that last year. Like he did. I mean, we've seen it personally from our point of view because he destroyed us on the ground. But at the end of the day, you got to get the ball. You have to be able to throw the ball. And I think what was the stat? Justin Jefferson has more passing yards a game. So there's a stat that Justin Jefferson has more passing yards than Justin Fields or something like that. I have to go look that up. I'll go look that up.
I don't know about that.
I forgot what it's not exactly that.
But either way, I just
that's gonna have a quarterback rating.
Like people are maybe that's a quarterback rating. Like maybe that, but like people are putting Justin Fields up there in like the upper echelon of quarterbacks in the NFC, and I just don't understand it.
I mean, he's not even. I mean, you put Michael Vick in his, dogfighting era. That's kind of how I would put him in that situation because he's not like. I mean, he's not. Michael Vick's not studying. He's leaving
receiving core.
He's leaving to go to the next thing he's got going on right after the game. He doesn't study. But I don't think Fields is like that. But he's not as talented as Michael Vick.
Right.
But he's not putting up like Michael Vick numbers. I don't think he has the arm like Michael Vick either. No. Michael Vick had a fucking cannon.
Yeah, Skol Zone's got it. I found the tweet. I'll put it up real quick. Justin Fields finished 34th in passing yards per game among all players in 2022. Justin Jefferson finished 36th. This is a real stat.
What? Just 34th in passing yards per game among all players in 2022. How is that? How is that?
I don't know. I don't ask questions.
Someone vet that.
Justin Jefferson's a better quarterback than Justin Fields.
Someone needs to vet that.
You heard it here first.
But Sarah's thing, I might actually believe this. What did Justin Fields have for passing yards? Like 20? It was like what, mid 2000s for passing yards
per game? Was it? How long was that freaking throwback pass to Cook?
Yeah, that's good.
That was only one. It was like one throw.
Dropping in.
That's all it took. What's going on?
And per game? Because then you got to divide by 16 or 17. So yeah. I don't know.
And Justin Fields was hurt for some of the season too. But that's what I'm saying. Like, all right, like he's great as a runner so far already. He's shown that, but he's not. He's
what I bet it is. It's his receiving yards per game is better than Justin Jefferson's throwing or than Fields throwing per game. I bet that's what it was.
We'll just go with the passing thing.
Well, that don't make any sense though. It has to be receiving yards per game to compare. I mean,
Justin Jefferson, he had a couple.
Throw it back up there. Let me read it again.
I have to go find it again. I just deleted it.
But I think it's receiving yards per game compared to passing yards per game.
We'll dissect it. Did look up throwing yards
because Jefferson completed like one pass this year, so that was
he's got one pass. Oh no, 2 to Cousins. Remember that?
Justin Jefferson throwing yards.
That play on third down.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Unfortunately.
All right.
They should have changed the call, man. Because we thought it was first down. We thought
was that in the playoff game? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Even worse.
Let's see. Let me pop this up real quick. Again, everybody who's in here, we're giving away a Justin Jefferson rookie card. All you got to do is hashtag Skol in the comments. We have 8 entries right now, and we'll be running this at the end of the show. Like the video, subscribe to the channels. Everything is in the description. All that good stuff. And
through to Thielen against the Patriots. I guess so. What, 3 passes?
So Justin Fields finished 34th in passing yards per game among all players in 2022. Justin Jefferson finished 36th. So the one thing that you could say. There could be a massive drop off
make
between Justin
any
Fields and Justin Jefferson.
Oh, possibly. Yeah, you're right.
That's what I'm
That's
assuming
probably what
it is. But if at the very least he has less than 32 other players, so
got it. Okay.
yeah, and I saw
that would make sense, I guess. I don't know.
We'll just take it. This is a real stat, it says. I know Greg mentioned, I can't feel, oh yeah. Greg Quezzy needs to get off his ass and make a decision on Dalvin Cook. We will get into that actually in a bit here.
It's got to be a June thing. I mean,
yeah, 100%.
I don't know, but
We're cutting to June.
with all the recent news, I have no idea what they're doing. Which obviously, as Jamie said, we'll get into.
So might as well talk about it.
What's going on, Isaac? Welcome in. Raymond, what's going on, brother?
If anybody's on Twitter, go look at the Vikings Twitter background.
Yeah.
It has.
Yep.
Oh, do you have it?
No, I don't. But I'll
so
just
Dalvin,
put him on here for now.
We actually put Alexander Mattison on the graphic. The Vikings have Alexander Mattison on the graphic along with Justin Jefferson. I think Kirk Cousins and is it TJ?
Yeah, I think it is TJ. It is TJ.
Yeah, so those 4 guys. So Alexander Madison, our backup running back last year, is the background of the Vikings Twitter. Who did that?
I know. That's so funny. There's been that buzz that maybe we keep there's a chance that they keep Dalvin Cook around. I just don't see how that's possible after maybe if we didn't give Madison that extension, but since we have, I just see no way. They're waiting to that June 1st cut. Obviously, we were all hoping for a trade to happen prior to that, but as June 1st is coming along now, I think what the Cowboys sound like they're really interested in Dalvin Cook as well, as at least that's trending. Man, it'd be nice if we could just got something.
Wish you would go to the AFC.
But now, I mean, then there's the reports as of late that said they want to do right by Dalvin Cook, and they're willing to hold on to some of his contract or keep his contract on the books until they can get him to a spot where he's happy or something like that. I don't know. It just seems.
Yeah, it does, Dan.
It just seems really weird, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I don't know what they're gonna I mean, I would expect a cut at this point because at this point, everyone knows that we're gonna no one's gonna give up any draft capital for him. But I don't know.
Yeah, I would say
almost like people say, is Quasi too nice for this job? I don't think that's it, but it does seem weird. It's do right by Dalvin, which I get to an extent, but also business is business, you know?
And we were talking about this prior on here. I do think I get it 100%, man. Even though, obviously, unless someone's offering you a first-round pick or something and you're like, oh, I'm going to do good by the player or something like that. But in this situation, I feel for running backs. I feel like they have one of the hardest jobs in the NFL. They probably take more damage and more hit than any player on the team, and they affect the game more than any of these outside of wide receiver and quarterback. And I guess you can maybe say pass rusher. I don't know. I think the running backs have a chance to make a bigger impact than any of those players because they literally start with the ball in their hands sometimes, and they don't get paid what they produce. So I get it from a running back standpoint. Obviously, I really get it from the business GM standpoint because you don't want to pay $14 million for a running back. Nobody's doing that, even if they're a high-end running back. So if you're a GM, I don't know. Part of you obviously it's a business, but I can see I would want to do right to Dalvin Cook, who's been here and played well for us. And we don't want to get rid of him because of production so much as it is for money. So I like that Quasi's approach. And that's how you want to approach your players, because that's another thing. It's a business, but do you want your players to know that you look at it as nothing but a business? I don't think so. I think that's a bigger reason. I think that would be a bigger reason for Justin Jefferson to leave than having a rookie quarterback coming in with no Kirk Cousins or something, in my opinion.
Hey, Lion Tammy, you just missed it. We were actually just talking about how the national media is overhyping your team. So
what's going on, Lion
if you want, you can go rewatch the VOD.
Where we mentioned you have one playoff win in the Super Bowl era. And they're picking you to win the division this year.
And that we mentioned, they're setting you guys up for a massive heartbreak.
God, man, and the disappointment.
We know what that's
disappointment.
We know what it feels like, dude. You do not you gotta just live with low expectations in this world of football. I mean, you should already know
that's coming from guys that are, you know, podcasters for the third winningest franchise in Super Bowl era. I mean, we're telling you, just, you know, temper your expectations.
East Coast, thanks for popping in. Everybody in here, you guys should go check out East Coast. He has great content on college players, drafts, all that good stuff. He's gonna have fantasy,
XFL,
show, I believe. XFL, pretty much everything you could think of football.
I think they got a fishing show. I'm kidding. I don't know. Maybe they do. But yeah, they do a lot of different stuff.
Yep, they know their shit. They do their homework for sure.
Oh, and the breakdowns on videos, and yeah, he does his homework. And he's gonna be doing you know, content. I don't even think it's behind a paywall yet, so it's pretty good.
Heck yeah, we have championships though.
Which ones?
Do they really?
1950. Even
we have one of those. We won the last championship.
Yeah, we won the last one, 1969.
Yeah, I mean, so if you're gonna go talk that, if we're gonna be talking prior to the NFL,
dude, my dad wasn't even.
You won a championship when there was 10 teams in the league. Okay, 10 teams in the league. I think.
Then since then they've won one playoff.
Someone fact check that.
No paywall ever. Thanks, guys. No problem, East Coast. Dante.
Oh, cool, man. No paywall.
No paywall.
I said there was no paywall.
Yeah, you did.
At least yet and ever, apparently. So that's cool.
Bob Sweet 69. We gave 3 in a row. You guys have 1 playoffs wins in the NFL since emerging. Nobody cares about the years prior.
Are you confused with the run with the Red Wings? I mean, I guess maybe. I don't know.
I don't think there's a team in Detroit. Even the Pistons, who won 17 games last season, gets the pick number 5 in the NBA draft. They dropped from the worst team to end up with pick number 5 in a draft that has some of the best talent we've seen in like the past 10 years, 20 years since LeBron. If you talk about one of the players, it's just Detroit is just one of those cities where there's just not good luck for sports, and
it's because the refs hate you.
It is.
The refs hate you.
It's not.
I don't know what it is, but the refs absolutely hate you.
Yeah, and that's saying something coming from Viking fans. That's saying a lot coming from Viking fans.
Yeah, considering how much they love the Packers, they hate the Lions just as much as they love the Packers.
At least we have a. I'm not going to get we won't get too much into the Pistons. We won't get too much into the Pistons.
Okay, first of all, you came in here with the delusional Vikings fans comment. We're not supposed to hate each other. We're like the two teams.
We can hate the Packers together.
Yeah, we do.
Let's look at this. We get a beat on the Packers.
I want the Lions to make playoffs.
Hey, JD, thanks for hopping in. There it is.
What's going on, JD?
A dynasty with the Pistons. Is a dynasty 2 wins in a row, and that's it? They won another one later, I think. Is that a dynasty?
And then their best player left to go create a different dynasty with the Bulls.
True.
Hey, at the end of the day, Lion Tamer, as we both know, when it comes to football, both of our teams need to win something.
Yeah, the Lions.
We talk, but at the same time, it be what it be. We all.
That 1984 Tiger team, man. It was a 1984 Tiger team.
But I think one thing we all can agree on. That one.
Yeah, let's go. I should have just made that the
cool. Thanks, Lion Tamer.
For the giveaway. One of these times we're gonna do that. One of these times we're doing FGB for the giveaway.
Fuck Green Bay.
Hey, Lion Tamer, make sure you subscribe to both channels. It's on Minnesota Sports Talk and GG Sports Podcast.
Yep. And
I would love to have a Detroit Lion fan keep us real in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun season with the Lions. You're already a lot chiller than the Packer fans that jump in here, but it's fun in either way, man. I think having any other division players in here, it wakes up the chat a little bit.
The Packers fans are at the point now where they're just grasping straws. Like, we're not going to suck that bad. We're not going to be super bad now that Rodgers left. They're delusional.
Well,
they're
the worst part,
they don't know they don't know what's about to hit them.
No, the sad part is the Lions, they just want to make playoffs. That's it. That's their only goal. And the media's got them in Super Bowl contention. They're putting stuff in their head. They're going from 0 to 100, and they're just going to get massively disappointed. and you got to just kind of feel bad about it a little bit.
Because we've been there. Well,
we've been there pretty much. Well,
I think Jordan Love had like his last season in college had like 22 touchdowns and 17 interceptions.
Dang, he sucks.
I mean, he had a better year before that, but
I want a Kirky boy card.
Oh,
I don't
sweet!
know if I have
Hey,
let's go. We'll put that up right away. Do I got a
super chat work? And does my super chat work now? That's great.
No, I've tried to actually hit your super chat before and it didn't.
It should work now. Thanks, Skol Zone.
Would you guys be okay with the NFL doing a Hard Knock show for the Vikings? I've been waiting for that. They don't care about us enough. Obviously it could be a distraction and stuff, but I would love to just be able to watch a Vikings Hard Knock.
I think we were a good candidate, but we were like at the time.
Good question.
Because we had a new coach. You get exempt for that. So the Zimmer year and then the KOC year, it just we were good candidates for it, but because we had a new coach, we were exempt. So yeah, but I wouldn't mind it, but I don't want it.
Lion Tamer, that game was my 14th favorite game of the season. The other 13 were the Vikings wins, and that other one was that last week of the season.
Dude, we were rooting for you guys so bad.
That was fantastic.
I was watching Micro Mike do live on his YouTube channel when you guys won. It was amazing. It was great.
Yeah,
we loved that. We were rooting for you. The only time I will ever root for Lions is when they're playing the Packers.
Casey roots for. If the Vikings aren't in it, it's the Lions for him. But
hey, I mean,
it's a 1B team for him. Yeah. It's 1B.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, I would love to have a Hard Knocks year thing. Especially, I mean,
well, it's gonna be cool to see the Cousins thing.
When we get that will be really cool. But once we get Caleb Williams after 2024 draft, there's no question they're going to be knocking on our door for a Hard Knocks. At that point, I feel like we might even just tell them no, just for dodging us this whole time.
I hate it. So to all you guys, appreciate you for Real Entertainment. I hate ESPN and other main media outlets. I know me and Jamie were talking about this beforehand. I saw that McAfee's going to ESPN now. I'm really curious to see. Like he said that he's not going to change. Part of me is kind of curious.
He's going to change. Why would he do that?
He says he's gonna get he's gonna have full creative control. It's tons of money.
Oh yeah,
full creative. It'll be interesting if he can go in there and
still be himself.
Exactly himself. It could be good for ESPN.
He just said he's got
that whole thing, but it's hard to believe.
He just said he has to watch the F-bomb. He's like that's all they're telling us. Like we can't say
that's
that
already,
as much as possible.
That's already the biggest fucking problem.
McAfee sucks. He's very polarizing, which is
I don't mind. I like McAfee.
I like his
that's your
the fact that he just kind of is who he is. I appreciate that, but
I like McAfee. I don't like AJ Hawk.
the mouse is going to tone him down. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's going to Disney, man.
Yeah, he is. Whoo! This is a Salt Park episode. It's always super fun.
Did we miss? Oh, in the zone. Hey, thanks for hopping in, man. Appreciate it. I think we missed.
Hey, what's going on in the zone? What's going on? Let's get back to the slideshow. So we kind of talked about Dalvin Cook, and it just, I don't know. He'll probably get cut June 1st. So it makes the most sense right now. Trades kind of feels off the table. Keeping him to me feels like a smokescreen, whichever. I don't even, especially Dave talked about, you said his Twitter's cover. Hey, let's go, Scotia Soup. Yeah, we're getting close.
We are close.
Speaking of that, once we hit we're gonna have a good giveaway for 1,000 subs. And I'm not gonna post it on social media or anything. I'm only gonna tell people in this chat. So when we have 1,000 subs, our next show is gonna be a good giveaway, and it's only gonna be people who come into this chat. I'm not gonna try to push it out so we get people who are just in it for the giveaways, all that good stuff. I want that to go to people who actually come in and watch our content and stuff because we appreciate it. But anyways, let's jump into Za'Darius Smith because I didn't really get to talk about this yet since this trade has happened. Where are you guys at with this trade? Because I know some people, it seemed like a lot more people were surprised than I expected. I thought, to me, it was pretty obvious that we were going to make a trade we were going to trade Za'Darius Smith regardless, or try to, if we got lucky, get a trade out of him.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just think there's a lot of people that think that Kwesi is too soft when it comes to this type of stuff, and he doesn't really negotiate hard, and he's kind of takes what he can get. I don't know. I think with Za'Darius, the writing, and I saw some people on Twitter well, it doesn't matter. He signed his contract. He has to stay here. But as we talked about with Dalvin, Kwesi's thing is kind of like the culture of the things, you know? So if he forces a guy who didn't want to be here, like, what does that say? You know, what does that say about what you're trying to
Especially when
build?
you got TJ Hawkinson and Darius and Justin Jefferson looming, right? What kind of message does that send?
Exactly. So, I mean, at this point, I think, and I know, I think I saw someone be like, well, why didn't they trade him at the draft? I think they were trying to see if they could get something for him in this year's draft. When that didn't happen, maybe there was a slimmer of hope, like we can work something out with him. And then from there, I think it was just, okay, it's not going to work. We just got to find the best option available. I know there's the Kwesi and Andrew Berry connection from Cleveland. So that, you know, that probably had something to do with it, but I don't think he gave his old mentor a deal by any chance. I think this was, I mean, honestly, we upgraded 2 picks. We basically a salary cap dump. You didn't want to force him to play here when he didn't want to. I don't have any issues with it.
If this turns out, like Sarah just said, it turns out to 2 5th rounders and the cap space gets me a D tackle that I want, yeah, that'd be great. Hopefully we got some free agency or some cap casualties or some cuts or trade, and we have the cap room to absorb the trade. I'm loving it, man. I did a video months ago, and I probably said we would have got higher compensation for him, but realistically, as time went on, I realized, well, yeah, maybe him wanting to leave, selling his house. Yeah, it's almost like we got to take what we can get. And honestly, 2 5th rounders, even though the 2024 was an upgrade, basically.
Yeah.
But the 5th rounder next year was a big deal, I think, especially if we're trying to move up or if we do move up, trade future first to get a quarterback, that we at least have some, we at least still have some draft picks where we can go get some guys, unlike we did this year.
Well, and it was a cap space thing because they need to sign the rookies first off. So as you notice, like they get rid of Za'Darius, and then the next week they sign Jordan Addison. But also this, like if we end up trading away Za'Darius and we trade away Danielle Hunter, then you're scratching your head. But like this to me just says Danielle Hunter is going to stay here, and he kind of, I mean, to be honest, he kind of has to at this point. If we don't bring back Hunter, I am very concerned about that pass rush, and I already sort of am a little bit. I just hope that Flores can come in and do something with Danielle, Davenport, and then the couple young guys you have back there with Patrick Jones and
I mean, we got 3 5th round picks going into next season or next draft already. So we're building up some capital. We're going to do something big. With the
question: do we? I was wondering about the trade we made for the receiver from Philly,
Jalen
Reagor, because wasn't that a 2024 5th round or 4th round?
That's a good question. I don't remember.
I think we looked that up last night, and I think it was.
It wasn't. Man, I was hoping it was last year.
Lion Tabor. I think it was more of they wanted to get, because Irv Smith had just got hurt during the season. So I think it was, I know this draft was obviously one of like the most talented tight end drafts in the history of the NFL almost, but like, I think the biggest part of it was they wanted to stay competitive last year, and they needed a guy after Irv Smith, honestly, like we'll see if he can do something with Cleveland or with Cincinnati, but he wasn't that great for us. So I think that's the biggest part was like the getting him to, so you could compete last season.
Yeah.
And now you have a solidified tight end. I know obviously we are going to pay him. It's going to be a lot of money, but I think that was definitely more of the reason why they made the trade, because waiting for the draft wasn't an option.
Yeah, I know Lions fans, even Mike wasn't too enamored with TJ Hawkinson, but I mean, 2 different teams, he got over 900 yards receiving, and I forget how many touchdowns, and he actually had a 180-yard game for you guys. If you're asking me, do I want a sure thing like TJ Hawkinson or a 2nd round crapshoot in the tight end of the week? You got to remember, Irv Smith Jr. wasn't he a 2nd round pick? Or he was.
He was the 1st round pick.
He was 2nd.
He was 2nd.
Irv.
Oh, Irv. Yeah, no, yeah, sorry. Irv.
Yeah, Irv Smith Jr. was a 2nd round pick. Okay, I know this was a deep tight end draft, but Irv Smith Jr. was the 2nd best tight end coming out of that draft that year, and we got him, and he didn't do crap for us.
Right.
And we got TJ Hawkinson, who
and Hawkinson did affect the game for us, especially since like Dan said,
he was our number 2. You get our number 2 receiver for a 2nd round pick. Take it every day. Take it every day.
He ended up having I think he had the most catches for tight end, or he was on his way to. If he played a full season with the Vikings, he would have the most catches for a tight end, and he probably would have only been behind Travis Kelce in yards. So you're getting a for sure good proven tight end that's only 26 years old. So we're getting him right in his prime, and you're taking a gamble on another first or even a second round tight end that you have he's a top 5 tight end. So what's your chances of going in the draft and finding another top 5 tight end? And first off, we didn't even, oh, well, never mind. But yeah, I don't know. I like the TJ Hawkinson trade big time. And I actually think it was Quezzy's best move since he's been here.
There's not a Viking fan that didn't like that trade.
He ain't Kelce, but he's top 5. I don't think anyone in this draft is Kelce. That'd be crazy to call any of these. It would be crazy to call any of these guys going to be better than Hawkinson at this point.
I mean,
one of them might be, but I'm not going to go and be like, hey, any of these guys are better than Hawkinson.
Kelce's not known as a blocker, though, right? Kelce's not known as a blocker, I don't
think so.
No.
Yeah, I mean, so you might get a little more. I mean, Kelce's elite pass catcher, right? But he's not. So, I mean, he's not far off. I wouldn't say TJ Hawkinson is far off from Kelce because he's right now in his prime and almost 1,000 yards. And he was playing for the Lions to start the season. That was 1-7.
He was playing for the Lions, man.
We went from 1-7 to the division leader, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think TJ Hawkinson was the right choice for him. I think he's going to be really good. I think he's in by far his best situation in his NFL career going into his prime after the best stretch of his entire career. Once he became a Viking, I think that trade was a no brainer. And I would take that over I think I'd take him over taking a chance on any of these tight ends in this draft. I mean, he was a 10th overall pick for a reason. Not a single tight end went until end of the first round in this draft, which obviously doesn't always mean everything. But JD, hit the like, you wankers. Definitely do that. Hit the like on both of our videos. We're trying to beat that YouTube algorithm. One of the hardest things you'll ever try to do.
My God, YouTube hates us.
Yeah, they take away our likes. Sarah makes like 10 accounts to subscribe, and they don't let her.
Someone subscribed. I got one subscriber off the show.
Let's go.
Appreciate
everybody who subscribes all day. I
think we got we've been buzzing around 20 in the chat. So
of course you do.
I mean, there's a good chance. Laporta's a solid tight end for sure.
He's not going to be the best tight end in the division. He isn't.
And also, Laporta.
It's not hard to be the second best. I mean, you just got to beat Kmet, but even that isn't.
He's the third. Laporta is the third best tight end to come out of Iowa.
Yeah, third. And you know who number 1 is? TJ Hawkinson.
George Kittle's pretty good too.
Lions had better wide receiver room and better tight end room, but we have JJ had better. Yeah, we do now with Addison. I'm definitely taking.
That's a good question. Would you take Kittle or would you take Hawkinson? I'm gonna say Hawkinson because he's healthy.
And Hawkinson's younger. Kittle's 31 now, I think.
Yeah, I guess he's older.
I feel like Kittle is the more athletic of the two.
He's going to be the better. But also,
Hawkinson is a non. I'm not saying he's unathletic.
Dude, I don't think we've seen what everything Hawkinson's got yet. Mm-hmm. He definitely has untapped potential in my opinion.
Yeah, he's 30.
Yeah, 29. He's 30s, and Hawkinson's 26. I think that's one thing everyone's forgetting.
He turns 30
because he looks like he's like 30. He looks like he's 40 years old.
Isn't Travis Kelce's like what 32?
31, 32.
Aren't him and Gronk the same age? Thought I remember reading that somewhere.
Him and Gronk are the same age? Kelce and Gronk?
Yeah,
that could be because I know Gronk. He retired at 29 or 30, and then obviously came back. What's going on, Michael O?
Yeah, welcome back. 34. Gronkowski's 34.
Is Kelce's 34?
No, Gronkowski is.
How old is Kelce? I thought I remember reading this. I could be 100%.
Kelce is a monster. There's no question about it. I mean, I'm not expecting Hawkinson to ever be like Kelce, but right now he is a top 5 tight end, and he can make his way up. He could. There's a real chance at some point in his career he's the best wide receiver in the entire league, and that's not too far fetched to say. because Kelsey will be old.
Tight end. You said, well, I think you said wide receiver.
Or best tight end, not wide receiver. We already have the best in our generation, anyways, and maybe even the second best, which moves us
crazy
on.
That I mean, already you could probably say Justin Jefferson's the best wide receiver in the league.
I would say I said that last year, which was maybe a little bit biased, but now I don't think it's
worst case scenario.
There's a lot of people that
worst
say
case
that.
scenario, you can make the argument.
I mean, people were putting him at like 5 and shit like that.
I saw someone have him at 3 behind Diggs and Devonta Adams. Oh no, Tyreek, Devonta Adams. I think it was him, Chase, and AJ Brown, or Diggs, or AJ. I don't know, something like that. I mean, he had the most receiving yards last year.
Set two Viking records, and well, I guess you could,
and the most
seasons too,
and the most yards ever by a wide margin, the most yards ever by a wide receiver in his first 3 years.
Top position players don't come cheap, as we will find out in the next couple months.
I think he's just got to get like 800 yards, and he sets another NFL record. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's destroying every record book. I mean, it's crazy, man. We got a generation talent there, and hopefully this guy who did impress in minicamp, Jordan Addison, comes in and joins the club with Justin Jefferson. But
I think Will Raggett said that, like, just because of where he was drafted and with the draft placement, it's like a 4-year deal worth like 13.7 million. I believe is what he said. Or was it 14.7? We just did a video on it too. We should know, but
yeah, I think it was like 14.7.
Who listens to you guys anyways? Not even you. I'm just kidding.
Dang, shots. Sarah listens to us, huh, Sarah?
I'm just kidding because you couldn't remember what you said.
It was like what, 27? It was an estimate, I think.
No, it wasn't. Right? No, it wasn't an estimate. I think it was just based off your draft spot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like 14.7, something like that. But
13.7.
But yeah, Jordan Addison impressing in minicamp. That's not a huge
contract details.
Not a huge. Yeah, Sarah's got it. Sarah's always in here. So is my worthless. All our people. But yeah, it sounds like Jordan Addison looked pretty good. It sounds like he looked pretty good. Obviously, there's no pads. There's not a lot of things, but we made it short. And even in there, I said, at least you're hearing good things coming out, because if there wasn't,
short,
people wouldn't say anything. Thank you.
High quality, good production value.
Thanks. I'm just using that production to cover up my mistakes while talking, so it works out pretty well. But no, so I don't know. I'm excited for Jordan Addison. I think it is good. It's definitely, obviously can't be bad news, but really good news that we're hearing that. There's only a handful of rookies from minicamp that we heard of, and he was one of the few that's a coach said, like, hey, he's looking better than other players on the field. He's looking at all that stuff. The last time I heard that was Justin Jefferson in rookie minicamp. So
I mean, just looking at the film or the videos of him running routes, it's just amazing.
Dude,
he's so smooth.
His cuts are so smooth. And that's something that translates to the NFL more than probably anything other than catching. Other than that, route running is probably the most important thing for you to come in and be good from day one.
And his hands look great too.
Yeah.
I mean,
he had that catch, the one that almost hit the ground. He looked really good. Another guy, obviously, there's only so much that we get to see unless we're actually there. But even seeing some of the throws from Jaren Hall, I really liked. He just looks really smooth. It's a big difference than watching Kellen Mond. I really like the way
nightmares watching him play.
Yeah, dude, he just looks like a robot. And dude, Jaren Hall looks comfortable. He looks exactly what you'd like to see from your quarterback. Obviously, I don't know what that will mean. Like, it just makes you feel at the very least he's going to be a good backup.
He's also 3 years older than Mon coming out of college.
Still, I mean, I'll take 25 going into his prime. So we'll see. I was excited to see him. I think he had a good mini camp as well. And then I think Carter, there is some stuff about Carter saying he
really.
Yeah. Maybe I can go find that. But yeah, what's his first name?
Andre
Carter, right? It's funny because I actually could just go like this. Andre, hey, I got the slide ready. Andre Carter also had a good rookie mini camp. I'm gonna.
No,
Which
he
kind
was-
of rolls into Greg's question here. Do we think he could keep any undrafted free agents? I would say best shot two. I would say Carter and Pace. Like
2, and I got what's the third one I kept saying?
Malik Knowles.
Knowles, yeah. So those,
gonna-
if Malik Knowles, that'd be the third. I don't see us keeping anybody else other than those 3. And it's weird because you got to keep. It's almost like you got to keep Pace, right? Otherwise, you can't put him on the practice squad. You might be able to put Carter on the practice squad, just because he's a project. Because you just got to get him physically fit to, bulk up to play in the NFL. And Knowles can make the practice squad. So, it's almost like you got to keep Pace on the team, and you got to keep. And then the rookies, you pretty much, if Hall does not win this 2 spot, well, that means we're keeping 3 quarterbacks.
Right. Another guy I'll shout out, Jackie Chen as well for JD. That's his guy. So
Yeah.
I'll just throw his name out in this mix.
Well,
for JD.
any offensive lineman's got a shot, but
yeah,
you could put those guys on the practice squad and see what they got in the practice.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get poached anytime.
Like none of our UDFA linemen are going to get poached.
Right.
So let's see here.
From Pace University, Jackie Chen.
Dang, I don't remember if it was a tweet. Let's see, Jordan Addison. They love. So I'll bring this up. Let me just read this straight from this article here. I think it's Viking. I think it was Vikings territory. Let's see. Might as well just read this whole thing.
We're winging it tonight, folks.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
I prefer these nights.
These ones are fun. So Vikings territory. I'm just gonna run through this real quick. So Jordan Addison dazzles. We already talked about this guy, but let's just say it would have been weird if Addison didn't dazzle at minicamp. So there's that. But the team and coaches were not all disappointed. Or we're not at all disappointed. Yeah, not at all disappointed. And as a surprise to no one, Addison looked the part of the gate as a Viking. Kevin O'Connell noted his performance. Jordan's been meeting over Zoom a little bit since we drafted him, obviously with the confines of the rules. You can tell he's a little bit ahead of a lot of the guys out on the field today. Where he's lining up, understanding exactly what that play means for what routes he has and how to go adjust once the picture changes when the ball snapped. I thought Jordan had a really good day and just looks and feels the part, which is exactly what I expected out of him. O'Connell added, let the summer-long fascination with Justin Jefferson plus Jordan Addison duo officially begin. And it officially began for me right after the draft, but this is just adding fuel to that fire. So they love, I didn't know it was going to be Ivan Pace and Andre Carter, but they love Ivan Pace Jr. and Andre Carter. Don't look now, but 2 undrafted free agents will likely make the Vikings active roster or the practice squad at the very least. O'Connell said the Vikings consider Pace Jr. one of the best linebackers in the draft. And yes, that would include Drew Sanders, Trenton Simpson, and Jack Campbell. To announce the voluntarily at rookie minicamp. That'd be crazy.
I think there's a drop off. If they're the top 4, then the 4th is a big drop off.
Yeah,
those other 3 guys I loved.
Well, the thing with Pace that is intriguing is he could easily. We got Dustin Baker there. What's going on, Dustin? Shout out.
Shout out to Dustin
Baker. Go follow him on Twitter if you haven't already, and everything he does.
We just got copyrighted.
Yeah. Hey, Dustin. You know we meant well.
Take it easy.
But no, the intriguing thing about Pace Jr. is he could easily be the best pass rusher out of all those linebackers that we've named. So it's like he just has that. He could have that skill set above them, and that's kind of what we're banking on or hoping if he was to be up there with these guys. And on Carter, the second Minnesota skipper raved. If we are coaching against a double-digit sack guy, we're going to have a plan, whether it's chipping, taking the slide to him, matchups, putting him in less ideal situations than just rushing downhill one-on-one. Like Pace Jr., the Vikings allegedly pondered selecting Carter the second at points throughout the draft and evidently just got lucky that neither man was picked. The takeaways, the post-draft smoke regarding Pace Jr. and Carter is real.
Who was our last pick?
McBride.
Yeah.
Which was a good value at that point. Yeah. We got, getting Pace and Carter as that And I know that's another quote they said. It felt like you just had 2 extra picks in the draft, which we desperately needed, obviously.
Yeah.
O'Connell naturally gravitated to the new quarterback. Of course, this was going to happen, huh? The former mid-round quarterback O'Connell took an instant liking to the new mid to late round signal caller. What do you think? Who would have thought it? The Vikings found Hall in round 5 of the 2023 NFL draft, and there's a quasi-realistic path for the 25-year-old to take over quarterback 1 when Kirk Cousins departs. O'Connell said about Hall, I spent a lot of time with Jaron, and I'm a big fan of his. Love the way he came out and commanded a group of guys that are learning a bunch of information for the first time. There were some ups, there were some downs, and that's what we expect. And ultimately, just trying to give him tangible, real things. Until he's not the head coach, the Vikings will always have a built-in advantage with their head coach as quarterback whisperer. Many teams have offensive-minded head coaches, but few are former quarterbacks. Agreed.
I think this year we're going to have an easier time of picking who's going to make the 53 early.
Yeah.
I mean, easier because they deserve it. Some of the guys that make it don't deserve it. So I feel like we may have 60 guys that deserve it. And that's going to be the hard decision of which ones we do keep. But I think last year we were like, some of these guys don't, some of these guys don't deserve it.
They're here to take up a 53-man spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we needed to field the team kind of thing. But I feel like
right.
this year we're going to have we're just deep. And the fact that you can just based on getting Carter and Pace in the UDFAs, that quality of UDFA just tells you why we need more draft picks in the draft, because we almost don't get those guys. And we could have drafted them. That's,
right.
So that tells you a lot, or the value of having more than 6 draft picks.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
We only had 5 at one time.
If Chen brings the pancake blocks, he might make the roster over Reed Schlotman.
I'm gonna go look at Chen film. I'm gonna go look at Jackie Chen film.
Spots aren't guaranteed. Also, Alan Elvin, the TCU center, I think makes the roster.
There's a chance there. He's undersized. Was he 290? But yeah, there's a chance to beat out Schlotman. You're right.
Yeah. By the way, I'm going back to Jordan Addison, man. I'm excited to get him on this team. I think that he and Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison are going to be an issue for a lot of people.
If he lives up what he's supposed to be, like what the hype is already, just that, like come in and instantly be the wide receiver too, it would be massive for our team, man. It'd be huge. I honestly think, and if he does any better than that, I think there's no question in my mind that we're a top 5 offense in the NFL.
That's another thing. Someone had us outside the top 10
for offense.
Like 12th.
I saw that. Yeah.
All right.
It's like ridiculous,
bro. You have the best wide receiver in the league, the best in the entire league. Obviously, it takes more than that, but you also have the top 5 tight end in the league. You got
we had top 5 passer in the league. We had top receiver in the league. We had the 6th best running back in the league. We had the 2nd or 3rd best tight end in the league.
Yes.
Last year. I'm like, what else do you want to be top 10 offense?
And
oh my God. I guess they're thinking Cook's gone, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess, but you still have Madison. You still have enough talent behind center there.
I mean, the offensive line is the biggest question mark, and not even the whole offensive line, just the middle.
But even to their credit, all of them are young and all of them are a year more experienced and a year older. So there's a chance that at least one of them takes a big step forward. And we already know our left tackle and right tackle are going to be stalwarts for the next 5-10 years, probably. And Ed Ingram, just 1 year he had so much playing time last year that, I could see him having a big step forward. At least that's what we're really hoping for.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I think the only person on the offensive line that I don't really see as improving would be Garrett Bradbury. At this point, I would say
we just need him to play before injury. Garrett Bradbury.
Yeah, we don't need too much out of him. Just be the reason why we re-signed him. Just be that same exact guy again.
Yep.
So I think we definitely have a top 5. I think there's no question that we have a top 5 offense, especially with Jordan Addison turning into who we all hope he can be. and seeing that right off the gate, man. And KJ Osborne as a third wide receiver. And that's without even talking about Oliver and without even talking about Jalen Naylor if he takes a step forward. So we also have other talent that we can use to take that next step outside of even these young guys like Jordan Addison.
I put a Jackie Chan interview in the chat, guys. If you guys want to go, I don't have any highlights. No highlights. I can't find any, but there you go. 20-minute video. 20-minute interview from the pride of Pace University.
Yeah, where's JD's missing? He's not in here when we're talking about his guy. What the heck, JD? Dalvin should have been gone years ago. Hated that contract extension. It was almost as bad as the second contract for Kirk. It was I feel for the running backs, man. I feel for.
But that being a running back, which is just, I mean, I get it, but also I get it from both. I get it from the running backs, but I also get it from the.
It's so hard. How do you be a top?
He
was a top 3 running back.
It's investing in something that you know isn't going to last you a long time.
Yeah, it is fair. It's fair. I think running backs get by far the biggest shaft in the NFL. Maybe in sports, to be honest.
No, you're probably right. Yeah.
But what do you do? It's just reality.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the reality. So
I think the value
I'm here,
long
brother.
Snapper.
I'm here.
I think the value of long snapper is greatly undervalued.
I do too.
Apollo,
I do too. You can tell when you have the best in the NFL.
We made DePaulo an All-Pro this past year.
Should we be concerned that Instagram or that Ingram wasn't in the Juicy Lucy video? I don't think I've seen the Juicy Lucy video.
Yeah, the Vikings media team just put it out today. It was pretty funny. I haven't watched it yet either, but I've been hearing a lot of people say
they just went to what is it, Matt's bar or whatever?
It was God, I don't remember.
It was were they doing like a competition
between the two big places that kind of started the Juicy Lucy in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Which one is better?
I was gonna say Matt. I think it's Matt's bar. I forgot what the other one is.
Like a 5-8 club or something.
Barker turned down 17 million, didn't he? I don't know what the number was, but I know they're having there's got to be a lot of money. Have to be concerned that Bradbury's back holds up. Yeah, that's the only thing I'm worried. I think Ed Ingram has a lot to prove still, but we kind of know what Bradbury is, and we just don't want him to get worse than that. Jalen Naylor, outside of the RB who trashed on Reed as a coach, Michigan State doesn't produce good offensive players. Hey, we'll find out. He had the second highest PFF grade last season out of all wide receivers, just to throw that out there.
What kind of pass rush Vikings have?
Explain that one for me. What is he saying? What was Mateo saying about Jalen Naylor?
He's saying that Michigan State doesn't produce good offensive talent.
I think he's laughing at the idea of Naylor becoming something. I think
that's Dave's guy. That's Dave's
guy. I don't know.
Guy.
Is he saying Jalen Naylor's not any good, or is he saying that it's the opposite?
He doesn't think Jalen Naylor's going to be that guy.
I don't know.
This one all depends on
no offensive talent. Kirk Cousins. Who else is from Michigan State? That was pretty good.
I think
it's going to matter a lot.
And I think he's talking about Le'Veon Bell, right? When he talks about the running back who trashed on Reed.
Oh,
does he think he's talking about Le'Veon Bell? Yeah.
As a coach, Michigan State doesn't produce good off. Naylor, I mean, eventually, just like the Lions,
Naylor's good.
One of these, I
don't care.
And plus, we want him to be good so bad because he's good. He's probably the most likely player to be more of that deep threat type of wide receiver on our roster. One that we do not have, even with Jordan Addison will be able to do it just the way Justin Jefferson does it, I think. But he's a little smaller, but not
People
like
got mad because the only
speedster type of guy. People got mad because the only player on the video for the Juicy Lucy video was white. Look, I know race is a big issue in the country, but that's a reach. I haven't seen the Juicy Lucy video. So was it just offensive line?
What's that? Yeah, because
offensive line and Kirk.
So
one of the
what are you saying?
People may forget Ed Ingram and what he was going through before we drafted him. I don't know. That's what I would have to throw that out there. If you're asking me why Ed Ingram wasn't in a promotional video, I'm probably going to say about his history with the law.
Well, I'm assuming Darrisaw was in it. Darrisaw had to be in it. He's definitely.
I don't know. And are you there?
What's
are
going
you
on,
in the city?
What's going on?
So I don't know.
Obviously, a lot of that stuff can be a stretch. I can't imagine it's anything like that, especially coming from our great organization.
Yeah, this is.
Darisaw wasn't in it as well. So
well,
what is
I only assume with Darisaw, it's probably wasn't there, wasn't available.
So you're saying it was just Bradbury, Kirk, O'Neal, and Cleveland.
Yeah, I would have to see it, but I don't suppose they're going to put Ed Ingram on any promotional videos.
It'll be interesting.
I just assume maybe he was out of town.
So we have one more slideshow. So with Za'Darius, we were talking about the pass rush. With Za'Darius gone, with other holes still needing to be filled, do we think that there's still any free agency, especially after June 1st coming around the corner? And there's going to be more players that we don't even know who's going to be there after those June 1st cuts. But with June 1st around the corner, is there any other free agents that we would be interested in still bringing on this team, especially with some of this new cap space we're creating right now, especially after June 1st? What's going on, Mike? What's going on, Justin?
I mean,
Ann Reed was in it too.
I don't know. I feel like at this point it's kind of. I don't know. I feel like they're kind of done. Maybe they'll pick from like the last wave when people get cut, like after, right after training camp before the season starts. But I don't know. I feel like they'd have made moves right now if they already wanted to.
So the one on the thumbnail is Yannick Ngakoue, or how I can never say his name, yeah. Ngakoue. Obviously he's been a Viking before, but I mean he's still 28. He's only 28, and he was playing well for us, but we just had to trade him because we need to get capital back because that was a terrible trade, especially for a season that was just not going well. I don't know what the price tag would be, but if we brought him in, honestly, if we brought him or Clowney in, I wouldn't be mad, especially with Za'Darius Smith gone. I don't know what the price tags for these guys would be. The only other guy I would say, even Leonard Floyd, like we could use bodies at that position with Za'Darius Smith gone because we don't know how or Frank Clark. If we got one of those players, I definitely think that would be a boost to our pass rush. That
it surprises me how fast Marcus Peters fell.
I know, and I was gonna say Marcus Peters. If we grab Marcus Peters, I feel like we're one of those teams that does well with picking up, like Patrick Peterson. Well, his first year with us wasn't great, but last year was pretty good. Just going after one of these guys that had all this hype or was playing really well to kind of fizzle out a little bit and get a second chance. I feel we do well with second chance players. And if we went to grab Marcus Peters for that veteran presence, it would make me feel a little bit better. I don't know how much it would cost, but it would make me feel better about our secondary. That's going with nothing but rookies and second-year players for that second quarterback spot. Outside of that, Justin Houston's old as hell.
Yeah.
That's way too old.
Yeah, man,
outside of that, there's not much more. And then
Reisner maybe at center or at interior offensive line, but yeah, I don't know.
Obviously, after the June 1st cuts, we should see some more players out there. Hopefully, a defensive tackle. At least that's what I'm hoping for. Madison will be a top 10 rusher. I would not be surprised if he was. I would absolutely not be surprised. Darisaw and Ed were not in it, so people want to reach the Vikings were Washington or owned by clowns like the Chargers owner. I would consider it a race issue, but it's not. No, I feel confident in our organization, especially with, how happy people are about the Vikings organization. We're ranked number 1 in all these things. I can't imagine they would do something like that. Yeah. Use money to extend Hunter. I'm on extend Hunter boat. We need that bad. Any extra money should go to him. He would destroy any of those defensive ends that we were just talking about. At this point, we have to do it. There's just no question about it in my mind, because if we didn't do that, our pass rush would be just immediately one of the worst, I think. How come nobody's talking about Darisaw's concussion, but they always talk about a Caleb Evans? I don't know what was a Caleb Evans history coming out of college with concussions. Well, he did. That is a good.
Well, I think Evans had more than one that last season. right? And Darrisaw had just the one.
No,
or-
I thought Darrisaw had 2. He had 1, then he came back too early and got another one. I think he had 2 as well.
And plus, Darrisaw's a cornerstone. We don't even want to imagine the life without him. With a Caleb Evans, it's more of like he's not like an automatic guy on the or starter or anything like that. So I think that could be part of it. Like I don't want to talk about Darrisaw's concussion. We need that. We need that guy. We need that guy. Caleb Evans still has a lot to prove, so he needs to be on the field. Darrisaw's already proved that he can play well. We haven't seen that out of Caleb Evans. Bits and pieces, but not completely. Hey, what's going on, Dylan? I'm late. Let's go to the greatest guys.
Be Shizzy in the house.
Let's go.
Hey,
welcome.
Put the
Dylan.
SCH.
Shizzy.
I like SCH Izzy. I'm Shelsky, so SCH.
Because Evans had like 3 in 2 games. Yeah. Clowney's just a guy who has been living off that hit. I know. It is actually so crazy how Clowney has lived his whole entire NFL career. He's always been underwhelming pretty much every year. I think they had like one little stretch one year. But other than that, he did not live up to be the best defensive prospect.
He had the knee problem. He got hurt right away. He got hurt in college, right? And then it just
but it was that big hit in the Outback Bowl. That really is what yeah.
South Carolina had that running back too that was supposed to be really good, and he just got tore up, never made it.
Or Trent Richardson?
No.
That's the most surprising bust of all time. No, he
wasn't he at Alabama?
Yeah, he was Alabama. Yep.
Yeah, there was a running back for South Carolina that was really good that got his knee got destroyed in his senior year, and he played maybe he goes on the injured reserve the first year, and then the second year he ended up getting cut. But yeah, Clowney, I mean, that play against, was it Michigan?
Yep.
That they some bullshit call, and then he just destroyed the running back, or destroyed the running back or quarterback the next play.
Mm-hmm.
Got the
he
fumble.
Did destroy him. That was like the craziest,
like the
hit,
best, the greatest play ever.
Yeah, dude, that was mad.
After getting screwed.
Just think, I can just picture in my head, and it makes me cringe. He just
I forget what the penalty was. I forget.
He was like Darren Sproles size, and this dude just comes in and just head or helmet pops off. Man, football's tough. Darrisaw had 2 to 3 also. Scouting report in college for Evans was head case. Like head case as far as like crazy, or is getting a lot of concussions. Evans had 7 concussions in the last 3 seasons, not to mention he was a reach when we took him, especially with Woolen on the board still. I didn't think I looked into that Tariq Woolen was still out there. That's the one thing. I mean, someone talked about Kwesi, about like how we feel about him as the GM. So far, I like everything about him. I like especially how he's handled free agency. I'm cool with a lot of the trades he's done. Maybe not in draft trades, but outside the draft trades. His whole draft process is up in question 100% for me. There's not a single player other than, hopefully it'll be Jordan Addison, I guess, but there's not a single player he's drafted yet that is like a for sure good player, right? Not a single player in 2 years.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, and plus including the trades he's done, I think there's a huge question on him in the draft as GM, especially there's 2 players in both drafts. The Caleb Evans last year, that was obviously his guy, and to see what he ends up turning out to. And I think Blackman is that guy in this year's draft. I think seeing how they turn out is really important because it seemed really obvious that those were Kwesi's guys.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so I think we're going to be keeping tabs on them.
If Lewis Cine and Boo Jr. rebound from last year, that draft is going to look amazing.
Yeah.
And if and then who knows, Naylor ends up down the road taking over as a
Ty Chandler 3. Does something.
Ty Chandler. There's
Ty Chandler. I don't think Ty Chandler is going to jump. I don't know. And then you throw this running back in the 7th, McBride. I'm like this year it's kind of based on, for me, Jordan Addison being the legit number 2 for us. Then Blackman, if he comes out and becomes a starter, and then you throw in a running back, McBride, and ends up being a stud, this is an A draft. And then you throw in the 2 UDFAs that might be big contributors, who knows, but Last year, yeah, I'm not disappointed with last year. I'm disappointed they got injured. I'm not disappointed with last year's draft because
disappointed yet. It's too early, but there's just no players have came out yet and just showed like he doesn't have a player to be like, all right, this guy ended up really good. It's only been 1 year. It's only been 1 year.
First year lineman Ed Ingram was fine for a first year starter
for a second
as a rookie. I think he did fine.
And Ryan Wright. Still, I don't know. We'll see. I think there's a chance we see that big step from him. I think there's a big chance we do see a healthy Scene and Andrew Booth and they step up. It could end up turning into a real good draft. We just haven't seen any of it yet. And a lot of it is because of injury, which you can't really control. But I do feel really confident that Addison's going to be that guy.
I brought this up last night. You just mentioned Wright, so apparently Matt Araiza was completely innocent. The punter. The punter from Buffalo.
Right.
Is that a guy? Right. Is that a guy team even us should bring in for competition? I mean, I don't think he would come to us because we got a really good punter.
Yeah.
Like he wouldn't want to come to us because he'd probably want to come to a team that he's got a better shot at, winning the job. But holy crap, that guy kicked 80 yards in the air.
Yeah. Obviously, I think you're right with the Ryan Wright thing. I think we wouldn't do that because Ryan Wright played so well last season. Though you're getting a guy that might be one of the best punters. He's literally
might be a better holder too.
Yeah,
Wright was a little on the chubby side.
Yeah, he was. But that's what kind of makes Wright great, But no, I think he's going to be one of the best punters in the league. Someone's going to go after him, and he's been proven not guilty. So if he's proven not guilty, I'm taking him. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it sounds like they were just under pressure because, Buffalo knew about it and still drafted him. It wasn't until the girl sued, a civil suit
that's a good point.
They got rid of him because they were completely fine with the police report. And then the civil suit, they just got too much backlash and then had to cut him.
Yep. And that's kind of how that works. It sucks because
dude got screwed.
The main thing is like it's shitty. Like obviously there's shit like that actually happens and it's fucking terrible.
Yeah, it just downplays the actual real shit that happened.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what's
video
really
evidence. There's 30 some, witnesses.
Yeah,
man. And
now we're turning into the Joe Rogan Experience here.
Microphone did a thing, apology video on it for 20 minutes.
Wait, the right
because he really trashed on Araiza when it happened.
Oh, issue was
not right. Araiza did that.
Oh, Araiza, yeah. Oh, yeah, that is true.
But I mean, she did lie about it.
It's
what do you do? What do you do?
And she was obviously there for a lot. She wasn't there just to hang out. Like that's been confirmed.
Oh, yes, she was.
Well, really hang out. So, I mean, I don't know. Shouldn't be doing shit like that. People should not be doing shit like that. It sucks.
And as far as underage, in some states, she would actually have been legal. So it's not in that state.
Yeah.
But when you lie at a college party and you sneak through a fence to be in it and
you're putting yourself out there
and you're bragging about it to your friends and you're on video saying that you're 18. So yeah, all that came out. So
yeah.
How old was he? He's like 20, 21.
Yeah. Something around there. Probably like 20, 21.
Yeah, Joe Rogan Experience right now.
Joe Rogan
That's why we named it this. Sorry to bring it up, but he was not part of the
he's great
main event that happened.
Yep.
Yeah. This is the reason why you always wait for all the info to come up before you trash someone.
Yeah, I didn't say anything out loud against that guy.
In today's day and age, you kind of can't right now. In today's day and age, you kind of, I don't know.
It didn't help with Deshaun Watson.
The media, man. Yeah. Exactly.
They decided to take everything out on Matt Araiza, the punter, in the 6th round, and Deshaun Watson gets $50 million a year,
guaranteed.
Guaranteed. he gets to lose his career, but Deshaun Watson, no, he gets $50 million.
She was trying to be like the girl who slept with Jameis Winston, then called rape, even though she had 4 different guys' DNA in her. This is definitely
YouTube might not like that. We probably won't be able to.
Shouldn't have read that, man.
Done with it.
Oops.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine. There's way worse shit than that on fucking YouTube. Anyways, but no, that does
though is something they don't like.
The one big thing.
YouTube. It was on Gigi's podcast, not mine.
Sorry, I was just
it
reading
wasn't
what
on
you
my
said.
stream. It was on their stream.
Sorry, YouTube. Don't take away our likes. Please don't take away our likes. No, the big one for me though was the Seattle player who he was supposed to be one of the top prospects, and right before the draft he got in trouble for no worries. It's gonna be fine. He got in trouble for all that same stuff, but so he went to jail instead of going to the NFL. And then after he got out of jail, he met the girl in like a coffee shop, and she admitted it on that it was all lies and stuff. And then he had his chance in the NFL, but didn't roll up.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but he spent time in prison, right?
He spent time in prison. He was a top prospect going in the draft. So there's just all kinds of messed up. And then you're really just fucking people who actually that kind of shit. There's people out there who do that shit. And then you're just,
thank God for DNA now,
Right.
Jesus.
Anyways, back to the Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know.
Ultimately, I think that guy should come back.
Do a curveball in there, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, that guy should come back to the NFL. He's a really good punter. He's going to go to a team, and someone's probably going to be lucky to have him.
Lucky
I
as
don't
hell
think it's
to
going to
have
be
him.
up us, and that's because I think we got our guy in.
He was about to start punting in Tijuana.
Yeah, I know. Pretty
for
much.
heaven's sake.
I know,
Jesus, right? What trouble is he going to get in there?
Right.
But
anyways,
anything else, or want to run the giveaway? Or
let's run this giveaway. Another Justin Jefferson rookie card giveaway. Hashtag Skol in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, all that good stuff. I'm giving it away again to only anybody that is in this chat. That's how we're gonna roll with this. Speaking about bad things, how about 4th and 8? Duke lacrosse team as well. Skol. Yeah, that 4th and 8 was tough, man. That was tough. All right, I'm gonna get this giveaway up here. So I'm only going with anybody who's in this. That's all. I'm just gonna do it from now on. It makes it easier for me to make sure I get a hold of people. Sarah, he's kind of cute. I wouldn't mind if we signed him.
He's a good-looking fella.
He is, but hey, remember, we don't just go after people because they're cute. You're just getting blindsided.
Yeah, that's what the Twins.
Sarah's still open to it as far as bringing him on the team.
That's what the Twins did with Joe Mauer. I was tired of it.
Giving that big extension. Yo, Dana, you might need to make that one whole word for it to work if you haven't already did that prior to this. But I think you have to do hashtag Skol without the space.
Yeah, leave out the space.
Yeah, Skol TY. We talked about that earlier. It's ridiculous. The freaking Bears. Like, come on.
Dave is going to hate me as many times as I jab Kirk.
He's used to it.
Oh, dude, you're not even close to. You're not even close to. Too evil to hope.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking, I haven't seen too evil.
You're not, Mateo. You're not in too evil to hope territory.
Sarah wants porn star Jimmy G. Jimmy G. No, we can't get Jimmy G. Come on, Kirk. Come on, Sarah. Kirk's not that bad of looking guy. I hate Kirk. That's just all he says.
That's silly. That's just silly.
Harsh words.
It's like we forgot what we've had over the years. Jesus.
There's no question, Kirk.
There's not a team that's had worse quarterback play.
You guys get him going.
Minnesota Vikings.
Chat, you're winning. You're doing exactly what you tried to do. You know Kirk or Jimmy G.
Or Jimmy G. She don't like Jimmy G.
Passing on Jimmy G.
He's like picky.
Jimmy G kind of
that is picky.
She likes 6-round punters, but
yeah,
she don't like Jimmy G or Kirk.
Anyway,
because you know what Jimmy
the
G
wallet
is.
Doesn't matter. It's the person.
Yeah,
for Sarah.
It's always what's inside, not what they look like. Sarah, obviously, especially
that's why she's choosing a 6-round punter over 2 first-string quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
She's not. She's just the inside the.
You're talking about hundreds of thousands instead of hundreds of millions. Well, in Kirk's case, probably. All right, we're running it. We're running it. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Got to be in the chat. Got to be in the chat.
It's Sarah.
And Sarah.
I didn't even see Sarah. Did you do hashtag?
Go for live.
There we go.
I think he's won before, right?
Yeah. He actually just won pretty recently.
Yeah.
Oh, Skol Mafia just hopped in. What's going on, man?
He's been showing up late. Do you work late, man?
Yeah, where you been at, Skol?
Rigged. Sarah says it's rigged.
Rigged.
Yeah, in your favor.
Let's go.
Holy crap, Sarah didn't win. Wow.
Dude, she's been on a cold streak lately. This is back-to-back.
Yeah, Sarah, I just said that. I didn't even see your name.
Actually, you could almost argue that David Skol for life, David Michelson, you could almost argue that he's kind of leading. I mean, this is his second win in the last 3 weeks, I think. I mean, Sarah still's got the biggest cards by far, but
no kidding. I just realized this Jackie Chen interview. The YouTube channel is called Pace Chronicles. So someone did a YouTube channel for called Pace Chronicles for his university.
Yeah,
45 subscribers.
Hey, everybody, go subscribe.
Passion project. That is a passion project.
JD, you better go subscribe to your boy's channel.
Yeah, hey, be the 46th subscriber for the Pace Chronicles. Jackie Chan signs with the Vikings, 351 views 12 days ago. That's pretty good. 351 for 45 subscribers. That's legit.
Skol, Michael, Skol.
Yeah. Anything else before we hop off?
I think we're calling it next Monday. Well, tomorrow will be Skol World, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah, we're actually doing we're gonna do a Skol World live tomorrow at 8:00 Central, 9:00 Eastern. Hopefully, rap doesn't drown us out. But hey, I got some news. It's not for sure yet, but Judd Zulgad is gonna appear on one of the days. Hopefully next week. He says next week. He just had to nail down the day. So we're gonna have Judd, Sports Dad. Come on, Nivea spokesman, come on our show.
Let's go. And then for us next Monday, we will be going live. Like we said, we're doing the every other week thing, but Monday is the week that we go live. So make sure you all hop in there for that as well. Another giveaway, Sarah. I'm actually waiting for I don't have the Justin Jefferson card in my hand right now because I'm waiting.
Give away that pen.
You guys really want this pen? No, I'm not giving away. That's it. We got to do one.
We're gonna give away what's ever in that Target bag behind Casey.
Yeah, Casey, what's in that Target bag?
What's in the Target bag? We're giving that away.
My container for my lunch that I didn't wash
for tomorrow. Hey, that's up to Dave.
You get Casey's DNA.
Hey, that's a pretty good deal. I mean, for tomorrow. So yeah, Sarah. I mean, I guess it's up to Dave if he wants to do a giveaway. I
don't know how to use that
all
thing.
Our stuff.
I don't know how to use that thing. You know what? I am going to do giveaways eventually. I've been inspired by GG Sports. I'm actually probably going to try to give away merchandise, like things like that. I do have cards I could give away, but I don't want to steal Gigi's thunder.
That is actually, I do have a litter box back there too.
You can do it.
But I'm thinking about giving away patches, kind of like the ones that people sew on their Vikings jerseys. As kind of like, instead of business cards, hand out Vikings patches and shit like that. So I think that's a pretty good idea.
Heck yeah, I like that. Yeah. Just keep clone Casey if you get his DNA. Make an evil version so a Packers fan. Dan, that might be
whose second favorite team is the Vikings.
That's probably the worst thing. Yeah, I would that's something I don't even think you joke about.
Or the Bears.
Casey's alternative self being a Packer fan.
No, could not do it.
That's too far.
My brother was a Packer fan when he was younger because one of his best friend was. And he changed back to the good side.
Dude, if you guys want a good thing to mock me, go look at my old TikTok videos where I pretended to be a Packer fan.
You should have kept with that.
Called, I think I called myself Fred Ferguson. And
I'm gonna go check that out immediately.
Yeah, and I pretended to be one of the owners of the Packers because I own stock.
You would have been the next. What's his face? What's the Packers guy's name?
Tom Grassi.
Tom Grassi.
Yeah, I tried to do. My first try at this was me trying to do videos of being fans from the north.
Mm-hmm. That's what he does. That's what Grassi does sometimes. Yeah, does a little skits of those.
And that's before I knew who Grassi was. Mm-hmm. I just I was gonna some of these people do like quarterback. There's this one guy that does the quarterbacks, and then there's that girl that is pretty famous now. But yeah, I did a Fred Ferguson Packer imitation.
Oh goodness,
dude! Pull it up. We should pull it up sometime.
Next week might have to.
On TikTok.
Yeah,
on TikTok.
Yeah, all right. Next week, next Wednesday, and maybe Casey is actually not going to be here next Wednesday.
That's true.
So we'll see we don't know what the plan is for sure.
Well, if Judd picks Wednesday, we're gonna have Judd Zolgad on here.
Yep. So hopefully. Maybe Judd, maybe he'll be diving into Dave's old TikTok show, which in my opinion would be also just as good. So just be prepared. Just be prepared for next Wednesday.
Yeah, that's I actually use that as a. I was going to be I have a radio show, and I chose not to do it, and I went solo on YouTube. But I use that as a to send to the guy to get the job. I ended up going solo. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you told us about that story. Dan Henman, I won on Vikings Report. Check them out if you haven't. I've won on Vikings Report. Yeah, go check out Vikings Report too. I think we know who's Viking. We know Vikings Report, right?
God, there's so many now.
I know.
I stopped even.
Don't go check them out for too long though. You guys know who the boys are. You all know who the real boys are. So you can go check them out, subscribe. But obviously, you got to come back for Purple and Skol.
Drew and Ted.
Oh, Drew and Ted. Yeah, we know Drew and Ted.
I've had Ted on the show. I had Ted on Under the Lights.
My grandma was a Packers fan, and my grandpa is a Bears fan. Then there's me, the Vikings fan. My mom is a Dolphins fan. If only she was a Bucks fan, then we would say she saw a division win, unlike the Lions. Dang, man. So you got the Vikings fan and all of that. Congrats. Dude, you picked the best team.
How do these guys? They got 20,000 subscribers now. When I first saw them, they had 13. So they're gaining like 7 in a year.
Yeah, they're killing those guys.
And they do a weekly show. How is this possible, man? That's crazy. They don't even do full time. Yeah.
Drew and Ted. Oh yeah, they know.
That is crazy.
Stand on with the number one Kirk. Stand on with the number one Kirk hater.
Yeah, I guess they. He was a good guy to have on the show.
How about giving away a John Randall rookie card next week? You know what, Greg? I will go look. I don't know if I'll be able to have it by next week, but I'll go find a John Randall rookie card for you. Why not?
I might see what I got in this box. I don't know.
Jeez.
You gave one of these away.
Ooh, that's mine. Did I give that to you, or is that yours?
No.
Have I sent anything to you?
Chuck Foreman rookie.
Ooh, Chuck Foreman. I know he's got some pretty nice Jalen Naylor and Ty Chandler in there somewhere.
Here, I got this one for you, Sarah. I got that when we signed Cousins.
Obviously, you're valued since then, but
it was never worth that much. The base cards are never worth that much.
No, they can only.
Here's a Royce Lewis. I got this when we signed him, or when we drafted him.
Ooh,
autograph Royce Lewis.
With base, if you were to send one of these base cards in, especially Justin Jefferson, and you sent that into PSA, which there's a good chance a lot of them are PSA cards. It'll cost you like $20 to send in, and if it comes back a PSA 10, that's like a $60 card For some of them, even more than that if they come back.
Yeah, some of the base cards. If you send in a base card and they come back at 10, that's worth it. But
if it's the right person,
has
to be the right person.
One of my favorite pictures. One of my favorite pictures.
Scott level Winfield Seniors. Winfield is my all-time favorite player. Joey Browner. Yeah, I mean, you guys, we'll see as we, especially. I can definitely get some of those cards, especially as we keep going. You guys keep popping in here. We'll bring in some higher end cards. Eventually, we will be doing an email list. I'm hoping to get that ready by the end of the summer before the season starts. And I plan on giving a little bit more bigger. We have plans for bigger giveaways and stuff like that. And I'll definitely, once we do that, I'll definitely be taking some requests for some bigger cards and stuff. Otherwise, I was thinking about getting a bunch of Jordan Addison rookie cards.
Old Kobe action.
But they're not going to be worth nearly as much as Justin Jefferson's. But I thought it'd be just kind of cool. But I can definitely go look for I'll see what I can find on an Antoine Winfield senior signed card. That might be possible. I might be able to do that for you. I can't promise you'll win, though. I can't promise you win, especially if Sarah's in the chat. Then I definitely can sign.
Yeah. I mean, if you're on every show, you have pretty good chances. I mean, there's only 15, 16, 20 at the most.
Everybody in here's won at least once. So they know there's a chance.
But all right, fellas, I got to
all right, Minnesota goodbye again.
Minnesota goodbyes here. All right, everybody. Thanks for hopping in. Appreciate it.
Have another beer.
Yeah. We'll talk to you next time. Dave, when are you on tomorrow?
8 o'clock Central.
All right. There we go. All right. And then we'll be back here next week. Jamie and I will be on Monday. See you guys then.
Skol Vikes.